This is your host, Tina Boyle White, on WYTV7, Christian Broadcast Network. And I'm excited yet another time to be here to be with my special guest and mentor. She's my mentor, a student of naturopathic study in Canada. I have Mariah with me yet another time. Mariah, why don't you say hi to everybody?
Hi, everybody, and thank you for having me on, Tina.
We are so excited. You know, Mariah, our whole objective is to really help people get from where they are to where they want and need to be in life. And, you know, we do that with a three-pronged focus. We do that from a spiritual level, from a soul level, and from a physical body level. And this season has been an amazing season for me in that we've been really talking about transformation. And I know for those who didn't get the show last week, you definitely want to go and check out the show where Mariah and I were. She was giving us insight on some amazing tips to help us be better. Today is no different. Mariah, kind of give us a high view of what we're going to talk about, and we'll get going very shortly.
Yeah. So one of the basic foundations of our life is sleep. And so today we're going to be talking about sleep hygiene and essentially what that is, that it's good sleep habits and why we should care about that. Our lives are so busy, there's a lot going on, but really what's going on in the brain when we sleep and why that's so important, and then how it can affect our health and later on in life as well. So, and some tips and tricks of what you can do to get better sleep.
It's exciting, Mariah. You know, everything that I'm reading and understanding health, the time that we sleep is the time that your body takes to restore. And so while you're asleep, your body is like in active mode. Talk to us about what is sleep hygiene?
Yeah. So sleep hygiene is basically you getting that regular sleep and you getting into that routine for your body to go in and do that housekeeping and essentially removing toxins out of your brain. And so when you go to sleep, your brain changes from the alpha waves that it's normally going throughout the day into those slow, longer delta waves. And then we are able to move into rapid eye movement or REM sleep. And this is where a lot of, they call it consolidation. And so the consolidation is when your brain sorts through the memories that you've acquired throughout the day and it replays them so that it brings you to a higher level of your memory and cognitive function.
You know, it's amazing how everything happens in the REM. He said that's where the toxins come out. It's when we think about toxins, the whole body, in order to detoxify itself, it's amazing. And for those who are not getting sleep, they're not able to, you know, have their body restore. Talk to us about what do you do? There's so many people out there who can't sleep. What do you do for people who can't get to the REM?
Yeah, well, for those people who can't get to the REM, I mean, so there's been a couple myths out there. There's a neuroscientist, Matthew Walker, and he wrote the book Why Sleep Matters. And he went through a couple of myths that like taking naps, are they good or not? And so he found that it's a yes and no answer. So yes, naps are good if you can get those naps. For people who can't get their full, 7, 8 hours of sleep, that if you do get these, he was saying that actually we are designed from like a tribal level that we are supposed to biphasically sleep 5 to 6 hours, and then there's kind of like that siesta nap time in the middle of the day. And that actually, so post lunch, that's actually hardwired into our brains to do that. so there's this so adenosine is the hormone that is the chemical that builds as we go throughout our day, and it induces more sleep. So it wants us to sleep. So as we go throughout the day, adenosine kind of peaks around that midday after lunchtime. And so there's like kind of like that post nap time. So if you aren't getting enough sleep, those, 20-minute, 30-minute naps on a regular basis actually can be beneficial for memory and your cognition levels and your emotional levels as well.
So I shouldn't be guilty if I sleep 7, 8 hours versus taking naps, huh?
No, no.
My husband, I think he's a professional napper. He can just go down and go to sleep at any time. And then when it's time to go to sleep, he goes to sleep and he snores really well. And so, it doesn't work for me. I have to go to bed when I go to bed, because if I sleep in the day, I can't sleep at night. I'm like very awake. It's like, all right, what do we do now? So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So tell us more. What more is there to tell us about sleep hygiene?
Yeah. So I really wanted to talk to everybody about why sleep is so important. I just wanted to touch on that, and then how we can actually, get better sleep and what this sleep hygiene process looks like. So if you get into this routine, you're gonna get less sick. Your immune system will be boosted, as we talked about last week. Your sleep is so important and crucial for that. You have a lower risk of diabetes and heart disease. It also helps treat insomnia. Also, it improves your mood and can affect and anxiety and depression. And then it also helps you just think more clearly and get along with people. And we all want to be Jesus followers and bring in peace and laughter and life back to our everyday. So if we take care of ourselves, that turns around to the rest of our people and the work that we do, and we're more present, and we're able to give more of ourselves.
That's really powerful when we think about sleep. How it's just so amazing.
I know.
The rest of the body. So tell us more. What more is there to tell us? We're excited to hear all about this sleep.
Yeah. So what sleep hygiene kind of looks like is being consistent. So number one is being consistent and going to bed at the same time. So when you get into that circadian rhythm of your everyday life, that cycle is just like anything else in the world. The sun comes up, comes down, just like us. We get into that same routine. We get up, we have to sleep again. So getting yourself into that rhythm, it's just following nature. It's following your own rhythm, and so just, listen to it. So to be consistent.
That you said something that many of us don't really know about, and it's the circadian cycle.
Mhm.
Circadian cycle, and you said follow nature, and I know that I'm guilty of, one night I'll stay up till 11, and then I'll, stay up till 1, and then, if I get really tired, maybe I'll go to bed at 10:30 and wake up at different times. So my circadian clock is off, and I would say so many others' clock is off. Talk about the circadian clock for us, please.
Yeah. So your circadian rhythm, we all have kind of the same innate rhythm going on, but it is individual. So whatever your lifestyle has become, and your body will adapt. If you have a continuous schedule of going to bed at 12, that and waking up at 6, your body gets used to that. And so as long as you can stay in that same rhythm, and what works for you, or your body will adjust and take care of itself. But so if you can do your absolute best to set a time for yourself, when, for me, like I have to set an hour for myself to kind of wind down, wrap things up, get my prayers in and do my thing. So, I've found that rhythm for myself. And it's just trial and error and your lifestyle of what your days look like. But to be conscious and aware of what works for you, we'll go with that.
That's so powerful. And Mariah, I've only heard from studies. Your digestive system works with that. How much water you drink and your excretion. Does that work?
Yeah.
Excretion, how your body processes and flushes out the next morning, all the things. And so that is so interesting. So talk to us, Mariah. What else do you want to tell us? What kind of tips do you want to give us?
All right. So tip number 2 is to set up your environment. So you want a dark, comfortable, regulated temperature and relaxing space. So to kind of dim the lights as you get into the evening. No blue screens. Try and get away from your computers. That's actually kind of tip number 3 as well. But then also to like meditate or journal or pray or read, to just do those other things that are like helping you to kind of mentally wind down. Everything's kind of coming down. And so to just get your brain prepared, like, oh, we're going to go into a nice peaceful rest. Be consistent of going to bed at the same time and making your environment a suitable space. So, but we'll be talking to you more about more of these tips.
And Mariah, that's a good enough tip to start being consistent and really transitioning. As we continue to talk about sleep hygiene next week, maybe you can give us some tips on how to kind of calm our space or calm ourselves down so we can transition. And I think that would be a critical key to helping people have better sleep. So thank you for this week. This has been awesome, as it always is. Audience, we look forward to hearing from you. Reach out to us and let us know that you are really enjoying this. And Mariah and I might even take it on the road. What you say, Mariah?
Yeah, sounds good.
Thank you so much. We'll see you next week for the continuation of Sleep Hygiene Part 2. Have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever you're doing. Be blessed. Bye.